Why did you choose to bring forth the lifetime to her where she lived on that planet, where she saw explosions and things like that taking place? And it didn't look like it was an earthly life. What was the point in showing her that life?
Strength. Warrior.
Okay. And does she often have lifetimes as that particular race, or no? Was that just kind of something she did once?
Not often.
Okay. Did she like it?
She's good at it.
Uh, was she a soldier?
Many times.
Uh, does it relate in any way to this lifetime or have any relevance to this lifetime?
I didn't get an answer.
Okay, got it. Okay. So moving on, are you able as Belinda's higher self to upgrade her frequency now so she can be at the highest frequency possible for the rest of this session?
Yes.
Could you do that for her now? Upgrade her frequency and tell us what that looks like as you do it?
Glowing. Glowing.
Mm. Is that done or do you need us to wait?
Okay.
Okay. Does she have any issues in her body on any level that she came here to heal in this lifetime that is left over from any other lives that she's lived?
Some.
And what would that be? What would one of them be?
Angst.
Mm. Where is she holding angst in her body?
Heart.
Okay. What does that look like? Does it have a color or anything?
I briefly heard like dark gray.
Okay. Is she ready to heal that now and have it removed?
Yes.
Are you able to do that for her now and tell us what that looks like?
She didn't say anything, but I can see the like a light.
Okay.
that came down. I can feel like
You could feel the light in your heart.
mm,
Okay. Does it look like it's complete? Or are they still working on it?
she said I have to do the rest.
Ah, okay. So what does it look like for Belinda to do the rest?
I'm getting pictures in my head.
Okay, yeah, just tell me what you see.
Um, I got kind of like the motherly, like, you know what you need to be doing. Um, which to me is all stuff that I've been starting to kick up working on with the discipline of the daily grounding, things like that, with opening up any like heart walls and stuff that I've put up over the years. She just said yes.
Ah, so asking the higher self, do you have the ability to knock down, melt, whatever it looks like, blast away any heart walls that Belinda has?
She said yes, but they're already coming down.
Okay. Can you take them down to the last nothingness? Kind of go in and clean it up, vacuum up the crumbs.
Like I saw some action, but she didn't say anything.
Okay.
Is that normal?
Um, you're very involved in your session, and that's okay. Like, that's totally fine. You normally see things, though, pictures, and then you
Mm-hmm.
describe to me what you see. So, yeah, it's not always the norm, but it has happened where people will be basically the intermediary between me, them, and their higher self. A lot of times I'm communicating directly with the higher self, but that's okay if you want to be the mediary. That's fine. Um, just tell me what you're seeing then. Or you can ask your higher self if she's able to communicate directly with me and just use your vocal cords if you'd rather that. It's up to you. Um, okay, you said, talking to her higher self, you said that she's holding angst, but she has some issues in her body. What's another issue in her body that she wants to heal in this lifetime that she may be ready to heal right now? Left over from a past life or another life?
Fear.
Fear of what?
The unknown.
Okay. What's the cure for that?
To let it go.
What does it look like to let go? What does that mean? How do you do that?
To let your light shine.
Okay. Can we get a little more concrete than just let your light shine? Like, is there anything that Belinda can do on a regular basis to get rid of that fear of the unknown?
Trust in your light. You have power over it. You can control it. There is no fear.
So fear is not real.
Yes.
It's an illusion.
The fear is not real.
Okay. She told me that ever since she was very young, she has been around a lot of spiritual slash ghost activity, and not all of it necessarily felt like they were of the light or had good intentions. We're going to talk a lot about this, but what can you tell us about it initially? What is that about? Why has she had so much activity and been able to see it and sense it?
She's open to it.
Yeah. Why is she open to it? Not everyone is.
Her light. The good spirits are comforted. The bad spirits are not.
So why do the bad spirits come near it if they're not comforted by it?
They want to extinguish it.
Ah, okay. Can they?
No.
They don't know that they can't do that, or why do they try?
Because they want to try. They can't.
She had a dream a couple of times, once after her grandmother died and once after a friend of her died, that she was in this white room that had a lot of activity and felt like a cocktail party type of thing. She saw her dad there, her grandma was there, later her friend was there. But then some bouncers came up, a man in a tuxedo came up and made her leave. What was that place and what can you tell us about that?
Waiting. It's a waiting room. She's kicked out. She can't go back.
How'd she get there in the first place?
She wanted to go there.
Did she know she wasn't allowed?
No.
Ah. So, did she want to go see her dad and her grandma and her friend, or why did she go there?
She traveled.
Okay. As in astral travel or something else?
She travels around, wandering, and she ended up there.
Mm. Last night, she felt like she was being squished down into her bed, like something was preventing her from leaving her body
That
while
was
she
me.
slept. Me, as in her higher self.
Yes.
And why did you do that?
Preparation.
For this?
Yes.
So it would not have been good for her to travel last night?
No.
Why is that?
She needed more energy.
Ah. Does it take a lot of energy to do something like this?
Yes.
What is her soul or her spirit do while her body is sleeping at night on a regular basis? Is she astral traveling, something else? And if she's traveling, where does she go? What does she normally do?
Travels everywhere. She
What
wanders.
does she just observe or does she do things?
Both. She'll get into trouble from time to time.
Get in trouble how?
She pops into places, does things, pops out. It's a work in progress. It's
So, are there rules to astral traveling? Where you can go, where you can't?
There are. She'll learn them.
How do most people learn? Experience?
Practice.
Okay. What's one rule she has not yet learned?
Control.
Control of what?
Traveling.
What do you mean by that?
Being able to stop. Being able to start.
Is she able to learn or master any of that on a conscious level, or is that all on a soul level?
Soul.
Is there anything that would be good for her to know now or not?
I got an image of space again. Like some galaxy image.
Okay. Okay. When we were talking about her dad's death, she started crying and telling me about the loss she felt at losing both him and the family home at the same time. Is there any healing that you could give her now to ease the grief she feels thinking about the loss of both of those things? And is there also any perspective you can give her about that situation?
Soul hug. There's been a lot of healing. Just got warm.
You just got warm?
Yeah.
Are you able to pull any of that grief out of her and fill it instead with comfort and peace?
I heard the grief is memories, and then I felt like a little tiny hug.
Mm. Is the house okay? Oh, the house got torn down, actually. I take that back. So I guess that wasn't a good question. Are you able now to place a bubble of unconditional love, light, joy, and peace around her mom and tell us what that what that looks like?
It's hard, but yes. She's sad. She's very sad. And
Over the loss of
confused.
her over the loss of her husband.
No, she's confused.
Uh, Confused about what?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay. But were you able to put that bubble of unconditional love, light, joy, and peace around her? Did she receive
I
it?
saw it.
Okay. In the last couple of weeks, Belinda was grounding and saw an image of a person in a hood, but had its own light and it was super bright and handed her a ball. And she wondered what that was. And then the being backed out, lit it lit up with her light, but it's with its own light, but she doesn't know what it was. And then 2 days after that, she was grounding again and had a different being showed up. It didn't have any light to them, also was wearing a hood and was super focused on her, had its hands out like they were going to grab something from her, and she yelled at them to get the heck out of her light. What the heck are you doing here? And the being looked at her like, oh my gosh, you can see me. And she said, get the heck out of here. And it shot backwards. What was that ball of light? Who were those beings and what was going on?
It was a gift.
Okay.
I heard not now.
Not ready to tell her what it is now?
Not ready right now.
Okay. When will she be ready?
Depends on her.
What does she need to do to be ready to learn this information?
I got the picture of the box opening up again that we had talked about earlier.
Okay. So, I'm guessing the second being was not positive. Is that right?
It's not good.
Okay. Did it
She's
want that?
protected.
Did it want that ball of light?
Yes. She's
Okay.
protected.
Okay. Who's protecting her? What's protecting her?
We are.
Ah. So there's nothing she needs to do to protect herself?
She still needs to do what she does.
Are they going to come after her again?
Always.
Ah. The being that gave her the ball of light, um, was it the same being and the same kind of ball like I found in that book with the picture?
Not now.
Oh, okay. Got it. In other words, move on, right? While her mom was pregnant with her, with Belinda, she almost died multiple times, and her mom almost died, and she was born in distress. Why did that happen? And is it impacting her in any way now or no?
There were a lot of decisions that were being made at that time. She decided to stay.
Mm. It was her own choice.
It was.
So why did she decide to stay? Is there something she wants to accomplish?
I heard a new adventure.
Okay. She feels like she might have some trauma she's holding on to from when she was younger as a result of the spiritual beings around her. Is she holding fear anywhere in her body from that? And if yes, where is it? And are you able to pull it and send it to Creator's Light and download instead peace and light in its place?
I didn't hear a response, but I'm seeing, as I'm laying here, it looks almost like a white blanket, kind of like going over me, like squishing through me, like almost like a filter.
Okay. So is that kind of removing, is that meant to remove the fear?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
there was a lot of it.
And it was replaced with peace and light.
Strength.
Um, Hopefully the answer is not that she's not ready for this one, but here's my next question that she wants to know. Does she have any implants in her anywhere? Or any Draco AI implants in her anywhere? And if yes, where and why did she get it?
She does.
What kind of implant?
Tracking.
Who's tracking her?
Not now. I want to know. I don't know. It's in my foot.
Would it be in her best and highest good to have it removed?
No.
Why not?
I'm not getting an answer, but I'd like one.
If I sent her to someone who specializes in removing implants, would they be able to see it and remove it? Or is it, I don't even know if there's such a word, non-removable, irremovable?
They'll see it. If they remove it, it'll be put right back.
Ah,
It's not a problem.
does she want it there?
It's a curiosity.
Does the implant have anything to do with the watcher outside her bedroom door?
Yes.
Is that how he tracks her?
Yes.
Is he harmful to her?
No. This has happened over lifetimes.
Ah.
They're curious.
Is it a soul agreement that she has with him, or whoever it is that's tracking her?
No. They find her.
But they can't or they don't cause her any harm?
They don't. They won't.
What was that ball of light? Like a hamster ball that came down the hallway and knocked him away for a couple days.
Warning.
I'm sorry?
A warning.
A warning?
A warning.
A warning from who? A warning to her or a warning to him?
To him, I got a message, but it's like mumbly.
Okay. Are you able to decipher it or no?
I can't decipher it. It's who's the warning from? Major.
Hmm.
That means major. A major.
Okay. Is the major part of a group that we would consider benevolent or not benevolent?
They're a group of watchers.
Oh, okay. Did that watcher do something he wasn't supposed to do?
No.
Then why did he get a warning?
Heads up.
Oh, okay. Was someone coming for him?
No. It was watching.
So are the watchers just is it like is it the race that we call the watchers? Or is it something else? Is he part of that race?
I didn't get a response.
Okay. Who is he reporting his findings to, the watcher?
Just the major.
Ah. And who is the major reporting to?
I didn't get anything.
Mm. Who does the major work for? All the way at the top.
I didn't get an answer, but I see a picture of, I think you could call it a building. It's the base of the building is very slender, and at the top it's kind of like a dinner plate looking. It's huge. The hole underneath of it is lit. That's what she showed me.
Mm. Why is she not getting any straight answers to these questions?
She's got a lot of work to do.
Ah. What can she do to get going on that work?
Like I heard her daily practices.
Okay. Is there anything she should add to her daily practices?
She needs to ground. She needs to connect. She needs to be open.
Is she not open?
From time to time. She needs
What
to
does it
open
look
her
like?
heart.
Okay. Open her heart to what?
To people around her. She needs
What
to
does that
connect
look
with
like?
things
Okay.
around her more.
And how does she connect with things around her more?
Focus.
Can you be more specific?
Her discipline on focus. Taking out distractions. Focusing on intentions.
What's distracting her?
All the things around her.
Like what?
Noise, stress. Her body. She travels too much.
What can she do to travel less?
Learn to control it.
What's one thing you can tell her to do to learn to control it?
I felt like I was like flipping over. Can you ask that again? I'm sorry.
That's okay. So what can she do to learn to control it?
Discipline. Or discipline, discipline, discipline.
And what can she do? You said stress was something. What can she do to reduce her stress?
She needs to take the moments to breathe and step away. Take time for herself.
Anything else she can do to reduce stress?
I didn't hear anything.
Mm. Okay. And you mentioned noise. What do you mean by noise is keeping her from, is a distraction for her? What kind of noise?
From the world. Some noises from the people around her, the animals, the house, people coming and going.
So how can she get away from that?
Meditation.
Uh,
She doesn't do a good job at that.
mm. Does she meditate enough?
No,
How often should she be meditating?
daily.
Any specific way or methods?
Just daily.
Okay.
She'll find what she likes.
Okay. How will meditating help her?
Clarity, calmness. It'll quiet things down.
Right. A few weeks ago, she had another travel experience where she went to that forested area. Did you hear her tell me the story where she went under the old Victorian house and found herself in a lab where there were some kids there?
She
And
sometimes
it
gets in
almost,
trouble.
ah, okay. That's one of the times she got in trouble.
It is.
How did she end up there?
She wanders. She needs to learn to control.
Did she really kill that alien?
Sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
He's alive.
So what happened when she thought she killed him?
She got pulled out.
Ah, who pulled her out?
She did.
What part of her pulled herself out? Or did she, I guess I'm trying to understand from a human perspective. How did she pull herself out? What did that look like?
I got a picture of like a hand reaching down
Ah,
and like,
okay. Was that a real thing happening with those children?
it is unfortunate.
What race was
Oh,
that was doing that?
that made me feel gross.
Uh, what race was that was doing that?
Can you ask it again?
What race was the being that she thought she killed? The one who was kind of running that science lab down there? What race was that being? She said it looked almost like a turtle. Is there a name for that race?
I heard a little bit of a sigh, but that's it. I didn't hear
Yeah.
it.
Like a cyborg or no?
No, like a like
Oh, are there other places like that that do
yes,
things to children? Oh, okay. Where do they get the children?
everywhere.
No, but I mean, who collects them?
Several.
Several what? Is it human beings who collect them?
Partners.
So the humans partner with the aliens?
They partner with the humans. They've been
Okay.
collecting since the beginning.
Uh, do the children agree to this beforehand? Is it part
No,
of their soul agreement? Okay. Then how does that happen? If it's against their free will, stuff like that can happen.
they're taken.
Uh, is there anything that people can do to protect their children against something like that happening, or do they have no control?
There's no control. It's gross.
So there's no kind of meditation or protection or spiritual battle we can engage in to help with that?
I saw the explosions that I saw before.
So destroying those races? Is that kind of the answer? Those races have to be destroyed?
I didn't get an answer. I only
Okay,
got that picture from before.
got it. Got it. Um, is Earth in the grips of dark slash demonic alien forces like that?
It's a melting pot of all sorts.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It's a melting pot of all sorts.
Uh,
A lot of places come here.
is Earth ascending?
It has been.
Is it going to shake off that darkness?
It will eventually.
Is there anything that us as light workers can do to help with that ascension?
Bring the light.
Okay. Bring the light. Okay. Is Belinda a light worker? Did she come here to bring the light?
She is a light.
What is her mission or purpose in coming here and being that light?
She has a lot of work left.
Doing what? Work doing what?
heard she's not ready.
Mm. Anything else other than what you've already told us that it would take for her to be ready? Or is it kind of what you've already told us?
I heard love and light.
Are there any downloads or upgrades you as her higher self could give her now to help her move forward on her path, her mission?
Not right now.
Okay. Things have really kicked up in terms of spiritual activity for her. What's going on?
She's getting some of the work done that she needs to do.
Okay.
She's safe.
Okay. Would a good word to describe her be a light warrior or no?
I heard more.
More than a light warrior?
She responded yes.
Say it again?
She responded yes.
Okay. More than a light warrior. Is she like a leader of light warriors?
I heard yes, but I thought it's in. I heard yes, and then I saw images from that rock place I was standing on before.
Okay. Almost like a general?
No,
Okay. Okay. Does she do these battles on a soul
all the
level?
time,
Say it again?
all the time.
Okay. So her conscious mind and her physical body are just kind of hanging out while her soul comes down here and does all this work.
Kind of trying to work together.
Um, when her and I were talking around 1:30 this afternoon and talking about her how she got in to see me earlier because I had a cancellation just randomly at the time she called me, all of a sudden she got a blue light that appeared in front of her on the box that was sitting below her computer, like a super bright blue white light. What was that about?
Knowledge
Oh,
is a
okay.
sign.
So she was getting a download, or what was that?
I heard no, and it was a sign
Oh, it was a sign. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part. And what was the sign supposed to be telling her?
that this is what it's supposed to be.
Oh, got it. Okay. Who wanted her to do this session?
I did.
Why?
She needs help.
Okay. Tell us what kind of help you think that you wanted to communicate to her.
She needs to get more connections. She needs to find more support so that her body feels better.
Where can she find this support?
All around her. The support's
Like
there.
who?
She
I'm sorry,
doesn't
go
know
ahead.
it yet.
Oh, okay. So how can she find it if she doesn't know about it?
She has to ask
Ask who?
people around her. She's not good at asking.
And what should she be asking them for?
Help.
Help with what?
Her journey, her next steps, her support, her practices.
And she needs to get more connections. Where is she going to get these connections?
All around her. Building a community.
She's supposed to build a community.
Join.
Oh, okay. Okay. Community of spiritual seekers.
People like her.
Okay.
Community to protect.
Are you going to lead her to find these people?
If she listens.
Is she not always good at listening?
I heard the no.
What does she need to do to be a better listener?
To just listen. Pay attention. Meditate. To accept it.
She thinks sometimes her home wants to get up and walk away and she keeps clearing it. But what's going on with her home?
Everything.
Like what?
I got swept back to the waterfall space.
Hey, what does that mean? Can you break it down? Does it need healing? Support? Help?
Can you ask the question
Does the
again?
home need healing? Does it need support? Does it need help? What does it want?
It's the land.
Okay. What does the land want?
To be healed. She's working on it though. It's a much
Is
better
there,
place.
okay. So, is there any healing you as her higher self can offer the land right now to help it?
I heard agreements.
She has an agreement to help the land?
No.
And what do you mean by agreements?
There's other people that are supposed to be Say it again.
I'm sorry, other people what?
There's other people that are supposed to be taking care of the land.
Mm. So how does she fit into that?
Clean up.
Ah. On a physical level or spiritual level?
Spiritual.
Okay. Would you be able to tell her exactly what it is she's supposed to be doing now?
Working on herself.
Okay. Okay. What is her origin, so to speak, in the universe? What planet? What's her origin, her species, her race?
I didn't get a word, but I got a picture of a gigantic, I'm going to assume it's some sort of sun looking planet. And I can see asteroids around it.
What does she look like when she's on that planet?
Light. Look like light.
Does she have a physical body?
I kind of look humanish, but light. Like a
Oh, okay.
glowing kind of.
Is it a planet of love? Oneness?
Feels like it.
Okay.
I said that from my perspective.
Okay. So why did she choose to come to Earth?
Missions.
Does she like coming here?
Yes.
Why?
Action.
Hmm. Is there not enough action on her home planet?
It's gone.
I'm sorry?
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone. What happened to it?
Destroyed.
By who? The Dracos or someone else? The Orions?
It wasn't Draco's or Orion's. It was something else. Oh, go bacos. Goes.
Opaque.
Go bacos. Go base. Go bacos. Something like that.
Okay.
Go.
Are they more evil than the Draconians?
Yes.
Oh. Are they also on the Earth?
No.
Why not?
Not here yet.
Are they coming?
Yes.
What do they want?
Destruction.
Are they going to be successful destroying Earth someday?
Not Earth. Others. But not Earth.
So what will they do when they come to Earth?
Try. They'll fight.
Oh. So where are her people now?
All over.
Mm.
Not many.
Doing, oh, are they doing missions?
Some.
Is that who they were bombing in that vision that she saw in that other life?
No.
Who were they bombing?
Others.
Any race that we would know the name?
I didn't hear anything.
Okay. It wasn't Mars, was it?
No.
Why is she such a magnet? Maybe you already answered this, but it was next on my list. Why is she such a magnet to all of these spiritual things happening to her? Does she have some sort of power?
She's light.
Okay. Are there a lot of light workers here on the planet now?
There's light workers.
Not
There's
a lot.
lights.
I'm sorry. Are there a lot of them on Earth?
I'm not hearing a response.
Okay. A lot of times things come to her when she's in her sauna. Like sometimes she'll have a line of spirits waiting to talk to her. Um, and then at one time she had almost like a slideshow of a bunch of American Indians where she got to see them and she heard the spirit tell her that he didn't want them to be forgotten. Is there anything more she needs to know about that?
She took great care.
So she did what she needed to do?
She did. She's learning.
Okay. Is there anything more she needs to do?
She's working on it.
Okay. You mean finding out about the burials?
I heard end to end.
Okay. Um, did the captain actually bring
No.
those? Oh,
Oh, that made me feel gross.
did he dump them in the water?
I didn't get a response, but I got a gross feeling
Okay.
and sad.
Okay. Does she need to tell the story?
I heard no, but I just still feel the sad.
Okay. Are you able to tell us the name of the tribe or the race of
Ojibwe.
Indians? Did you say, I'm sorry? Ojibwe?
Yes.
Okay. Would they like us to light candles in their honor?
Sweetgrass.
Okay. How will that help them? Or how will it impact them if we light sweetgrass in their honor?
Appreciation.
Uh, Anything else she needs to know about that situation?
Good work.
Mm. She wants to know what more can she do to help, in her words, open Pandora's box and fully be who she was meant to be. She feels like there's a line, and once she crosses that line, there's no turning back.
She's safe. She's protected. Meditate.
Does she have any hesitation or fear in crossing that line? And if so, why?
Yes.
Why?
Obligations.
Is there anything you can do to help alleviate that fear? Can you pull it? Can you lessen it, soften it?
I got a picture of me getting a pat on the back.
Mm-hmm. So is her sauna a portal?
It is.
Is it beneficial for her to keep in her house?
It is.
Is she using it to the best of its ability?
Not yet.
Uh, what should she be doing to make it more beneficial?
Her grounding or meditate.
Right. Are there any other portals in her house, or is it just the sauna?
Not now.
Okay. If we have a timeline before us with a brand new soul sparking off of Creator on the far left of that line and Jesus on the far right of that timeline, and then souls even more ancient than Jesus's soul beyond Jesus, where does her soul fall on that timeline?
I heard a chuckle and old.
Beyond Jesus?
Yes.
Would she be considered ancient or not quite ancient?
I heard I guess,
Okay.
but it seemed like a weird answer that I got.
Okay. What is it with her being around, surrounded by so many people who are dying? It seems unusual the number of people that she is around that are dying. What's up with that?
She's light.
Mm.
It
And they
happens.
like that? Okay. They like that being
It's
around her?
comforting.
I'm sorry?
It's
Say it again?
comforting.
Oh, okay. Who are her main guys? What can you tell us about them?
There's a lot.
Mhm. Who are the main ones?
Michael,
Archangel Michael or some other Michael?
Archangel Michael,
Who else?
I heard Devin.
What
I
is Devin's
see,
job? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I see like a person, another person kind of standing back a little bit. There's 10 people kind of in that row. And then there's like an auditorium. Um,
Do they all have a specific job?
they all help out.
Okay. Why does she need so many?
She needs it.
For what she came here to do?
I heard yes, sorry.
Oh, okay. 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 Did one of them tell her his name was
Michael,
Brad? Uh, okay. Why did he say that?
because that's him.
What is it that they most want to tell her specifically to specifically guide her in her life right now?
Listen,
Anything else?
heard listen again.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a picture of a finger going like that.
Kind of pointing at you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you as her higher self? And this is metaphorically, of course. Are you as her higher self able to give her a spiritual ear cleanse so she can hear better? Would that help her?
Yes, she needs to turn it up.
Could you do that now for her?
There.
Say it again.
I just heard there.
Oh, okay. So it's all done.
She didn't respond.
Okay. How can she build better communication with her guides so she can hear specific message for them, be more discerning and pick up nuances they're trying to say
Trust.
to her? She feels like trust. Yeah, well, she feels like her own brain is kicking in, trying to fill in gaps, and she wants the messages to truly be messages from them and not have her fill in the gaps.
Let it go.
Mm. Is there any kind of color or sound or tone or image or anything to help her learn? Like, let's just say, are you able to give her some training wheels in learning how to let it go and trust? And what I mean by that is, like, when she's getting a message from spirit, are you able to give her any sort of like sound or tone or color or anything like that? So it's kind of like, oh, listen up, this is my guides, it's not my mind saying this. Is there anything like that you can do?
She can see them. She has to pay attention.
Ah. Can they all wear a certain color as like a training wheel? Like, can they all wear a certain color when they show themselves to her so she can know that it's someone she can trust until she learns how to discern that? Or isn't that something like that not possible? Like maybe they're all dressed in white, or I don't know. I'm just reaching here.
I see Michael. He's kind of like, okay. He's in white.
Okay. I mean, not that I'm trying to tell them how they have to dress or anything. We're just asking for help.
Devin's in
I
light
just
blue.
who isn't Devon's in white light blue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
The other ones are in light blue.
Okay. Do you have any other messages for her now before we end this session? Just completely open-ended. You said you had wanted her to have this session. What else is it, if anything, that you want her to know?
Trust yourself. You're protected. You're safe. Listen.
Anything else?
Michael and Devin just high-fived.
If she takes all of the information from this session and incorporates it in her life, how will her life be different now compared to what it would have been like had she not done this session?
Happier. That's it. Can you ask that question again?
Yeah. If she takes all the information that she's learned from this session and kind of ingests it, incorporates it into her life, how will her life be different compared to what it would have been like had she not done this session?
Happier. Feeling more complete.
Is there anything else you want to share with her before we end this session, or are we good to end this session?
You have a long journey.
She has a long journey, did you say?
She does.
Mm. Does she have all the supplies she needs?
She does. She needs to listen.
So she's fully equipped?
She is. My
Would it
floor
I'm
just
sorry,
shook.
the floor just shook?
Yeah. Sorry, that caught me off guard. I apologize.
That's okay. Are we good to end this session, or is there anything else you would like to say to her?
We're good.
Take your time. Take your time getting up. I brought you out.
So that was weird. So I didn't hear all the questions you said, but I did
Okay.
hear like answers and stuff, and I got confused by some of the answers because like there's some of them just seemed like strange answers.
Okay.
Um, but at the end, I did get one message, and uh, she did say thank you to you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was so sweet. Yeah, and it was really obvious that your higher self came in because when I asked for permission, she acknowledged that I asked for permission and said that she appreciated that. Like, thank you for asking, or something like that. So when that happens, like, I truly know that higher self is there.
Oh God, that was
So,
weird. It felt like somebody jumped on the floor next to me.
oh wow.
Like, oh,
Maybe kind of like,
I hit my deal.
was it like jumping up and down in excitement, or okay, it's time to be done with this now type of thing, or what do you think that was about?
Um, I don't even know what question you asked. Um,
I think if there was anything else,
it was
let me think. Well,
it was
wait,
towards the end,
yeah.
and
Hold on, I'm looking at it now. Oh, I said, is she fully equipped for what she needs to do?
yeah,
She is, and then you said the floor just shook. It caught me off guard.
yeah, God, that was weird. It literally felt like somebody like jumped next to me.
So you were fully present. Do you remember everything that happened?
I don't remember hearing all the questions um, or all the answer. Maybe I remember all the answers. I don't. I don't remember all the questions. I remember hearing a bunch of the answers, and like that's a weird answer. Like
Mm.
like that's weird. Like, and then I know there was a couple times where like an answer, like a response came through, and I caught myself kind of like chuckling because I'm like, that sounds just like what I would expect my higher self to answer like.
So when
So,
you're moving around, can you move your microphone because it's leaving a
oh,
lot of scratchy noises? Yeah, every time you move, it's
sorry.
like
There
a
you
lot of
go. Okay.
static. Okay,
Yep.
awesome.
Um,
Just rubbing on your shirt.
yeah.
So how do you feel now?
I actually feel better. Um, I I do know like some of the questions there weren't answers for, um, which I thought was odd, but I also don't know what to expect in something like this. Um, so I don't, in some of them, I was hoping that we could have gotten more information, but I also, in some of the responses, know I have a lot of work ahead of me.
Right, and your higher
So,
self was not
yeah,
very forthcoming with some of the information. Not now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, well, that makes sense. Like, if I'm already like dancing on this line, trying to cross this line, and the work is to get me over the line at this
Mhm.
moment, throwing a bunch more stuff at me isn't going to help me get over that line any faster, I guess.
Right. And you know what? I'm going to pull up this book. It's not exactly relevant to what you're doing, but this book is called Pull Yourself Together, A True Story of Alternate Reality, Spiritual Healing, and Dimensional
Mm-hmm.
Wholeness. And I'm only halfway done with it, but I've got the gist so far, even though the first like 98 pages were really slow. Um, but for some reason I couldn't put it down. But the gist of it was this woman had a choice to make between, you know, the reality that she was currently experiencing and a potential parallel reality.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so she knows that when she actually firmly made that decision, and I bring this up in relation to you. When she firmly made that decision, oh my gosh, okay, thank you, guides. They're showing me how this is totally what's going on with me now too, that I just made a decision to do something. That it then opens, it's almost like you have a pathway before you, like the road less traveled or whatever, you have like two pathways in front of you, right?
Mhm.
And you're currently on one, but then when you make a decision, cross that line,
Mhm.
right? Or make a decision, I'm going to stay with my husband,
Yep.
instead of, going back and forth in your mind, I'm going to leave
Mhm.
him like somebody else, right?
Mhm.
Then that whole track like lights up, right? So it's
Yeah.
like when you step across that line that you're afraid to cross,
Mhm.
like then that whole pathway will light up because
Yep.
then it lights up that whole alternate reality versus because you could decide, no, I decided now I'm not going to cross that line. I'm going to live this reality and not cross that line. And I'm going to shut all that stuff off. And you
Mhm.
can do that. You have free will, right? You can do that. But so that's the one that will stay lit up for you and that you'll focus on. It'll have your attention. But as soon as you just make that decision, you know what? Like this sounds kind of fun. I know I'm safe. I know I'm protected.
Mhm.
I'm making a decision right now. I'm going for the gold. Then that whole track, it'll just be like in an airline, in an airplane, when you have that track on the floor that's all lit up
Mhm.
like that, or a runway, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's literally like what it is. And I literally just did that very same thing about a move I'm going to make. And it was like I was just waffling back and forth. And as soon as I made it, it was just like, I feel like the whole thing just lit up and I'm being led, even though I can't see now past, 10 feet in front of me. I know
Mhm.
that the whole thing is all laid out for me. Like it's there, but it's faith and trust,
Yeah.
right? Is going to take me past the first 10 feet. And then maybe the next 10 feet will light up and then the next 10 feet.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah. It was interesting. Like I do feel better. I do. And it's kind of weird how to like pinpoint feeling better. Like it's like a I don't know, like a squidginess, like an underlying squidginess isn't there? And I made up a word, but it's the only way I can like really describe it. It's like when you've had like a dull pain for so long, all of a sudden it's gone and you're like, wait a second. Like it's gone.
Interesting.
Like that's but it's not
So,
like a pain, it's like a different kind of feeling.
yeah.
But it's
So
like
you got Archangel Michael and Devin that you can call on by name now,
mhm.
right? To help you in your journey.
I've never known a Devin. Like I've
Not in this life.
yeah. Well,
It
like
doesn't
I've
mean
never known a like even when I'm communicating, I never communicated with granted they've never like come up to me like, "Hey, my name's Devin. I'm here to help you." Type deal. Um yeah, that's cool. It was weird. I saw a lot. It the picture I saw was it was like a main person here and then there was like 10 almost circling me.
Mhm.
And then on the other side of that, it was like I'm sure you could count them, but it was
A
like
lot.
you were looking at an auditorium.
Wow.
It was weird. Like, and it was kind of funny because before we were getting ready, part of what you had asked is to like, ask my guides guardian angels, if they're open for connecting and stuff like that. And what I heard was all of us. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay.
That's funny. We didn't know how many we were inviting, right? Um, you got a lot of guidance here. You got a lot of answers that were evasive, but you got a lot of guidance. I really tried to dig and get you as much as I could. And then you just like poke around in the astral and you get yourself into trouble.
Sounds
And
about
that
right.
was you. And then you felt sick to your stomach about the
What
kids.
was the kid? Okay, so it was the kids one that
Yeah.
I got.
Yeah. It was a couple times you did, but yeah, I think it was about the kids stuff. That stuff
I'm
does
not.
happen. It's been happening since the beginning of time.
I'm not surprised that that made me feel nauseous.
Yeah. And that there's nothing we can do about it.
That's a grosser feeling.
Yeah, right? Isn't it really?
Ugh,
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I stabbed the thing.
Well, you tried to, but it's actually still alive. And you were pulled
Oh,
out. You thought you did, but you didn't. It's still alive. Doing that yucky stuff.
that's too bad.
Yeah, and the race was, I wrote down the best I could, the pronunciation that you were kind of trying to get. I don't see it on my sheet now, but I did write it down like phonetically, how I thought you were pronouncing it. And you do have an implant in your foot. Don't remove it. Why? Because it'll just be put right back. Because I know a guy who
That's
does
comforting.
remove those things. Like he can see them and he'll remove them, but why would you want to pay him to do it? Because it said
Yeah,
it's just going to be put right back. And that you've been watched for a while and the guy outside your door isn't doing any harm to you. Um, and he reports to the major. And I tried to get information on who does the major report to? What is the race? Couldn't get anything.
I wonder, like, as I do more work on my
Yeah.
journey and everything, if
Well, you're not, yeah, because you're not ready yet. You're just a science experiment. I was kidding. Right?
they're charting me as I go.
Right? Yeah. Um, so interesting. And I think I tried to get the name of the race the Watchers from, and I could. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't get it. No response. Is he part of the race we call the Watchers? No response. Who is the major reporting? Who is the Watcher reporting to the major? Who's the major reporting to? No answer. No answer, but I see a picture of, I think you call it a building. The base of the
I
building is
can
very
still see
slender.
the picture.
Yeah, and the
It,
whole underneath of it is lit.
and it's
I
not the
wonder if that's where
same.
they live or what, right?
It's not the same construction as what I saw with like the city with the explosions. It's not the same type of construction as that. It's a different like architecture look. Um,
Why is she not getting any straight answers to these questions? She's got a lot of work to do. I was sitting there like, come on, give me some more. Like, this is interesting stuff. Do your work and come back in 6 months. I want to hear what's going on. We need an update. America needs an update.
Thank
Everyone's
God.
going to be sitting here going, no, we need more
I wonder,
information.
does the guy that you have that does the removal of the plants and stuff like that, do you know, does he have more information about the different like races and things like that?
Um, I don't know, but I
No.
do know a guy who does. Let me, because I saved, I follow him on Facebook, and OMG, he knows like crazy stuff. I'm just like, how does he know this stuff? All about all these different races. Oh
Because
yeah,
there's
let me see.
in like I can still remember the pictures that came into my head. And there's one there it was like a ceremony thing. There was different kinds. And there was one
Okay,
that looked real funky. Like
okay. hold on, because I messaged it to myself because I was like, I gotta save these posts. Like, I've been following him for a while, but his stuff is just wild. He's on Facebook. Oh, this guy looks just creepy. Look, not the guy, not the guy, the alien that he's showing, not the guy
Yeah.
himself. But this guy, creepy dude.
Oh, I think he's actually on I think that's a picture of a show.
Yeah,
Maybe?
and
Yeah.
he put that on there. So his name is Jamie, Jamie Phillips, Jamie Phillips on Facebook. Um, and that's what he looks like, Jamie Phillips. But he writes so many posts about all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the last one I saved was called The Grand Experiment Explained, part 1 and part 2. Completely unbelievably fascinating.
Amy Phillips.
Let me go to my
There's a lot of Jamie Phillips.
oh shoot. Okay. Let me see how I can share. Let me see. How do I I keep clicking off of him. Let me see. Click on him. Um
I'm maybe thinking he posted something
let's
about a
see.
Palladian council.
Well, underneath his name it says Cosmic Beef
Yep.
Fudge,
Okay, I found
bringing
him.
bringing delicious treats from the galactic bumhole. I never read that before. Oh, hey. You found him? Okay.
Yep, I found him.
He's calling 2022 the year of the rude awakening. Time is indeed running out for those not yet awakening. The galactics are giving people who are on the cusp of moving up to the higher consciousnesses this year and next year to make the breakthrough out of the old matrix.
He looks familiar to me. Hmm.
As the resistance for change has been met within by many, these individuals will now experience strong duality and turbulence through the outside world this year to attempt to shake them out of the illusion. They no longer can hide from their fears or insecurities. Releasing fear is a requirement to make the jump. To do this, they must confront fear head on. This is clearing karma so the light codes can flow through to them. And then he just, wow, he goes on. And I haven't read this one yet. And then he says, I know some of you have been waiting for part 3 of the Grand Experiment series. I've been told to hold off from releasing this as there are codes which I'm currently integrating, which will provide more value if I wait. All the channeled info right now is very intense, and so I have to organize in a way that connects it all together. I mean, his posts are just like incredible, incredible. Like he's like a galactic PhD or something. I mean, he's just like amazing. So anyway, yeah, check out his stuff on Facebook. Super, super cool and amazing. Oh, okay, anyway, he's not the one that does the removing. That guy's name is Antonio Arillo, and you can also find him on Facebook, but his website is thesunconsciousness.com. So feel free to go read on his website if you want. But I've had him actually remove a couple of Draco AI implants from people because it was impeding them from being able to do a session. And it worked very successfully, and they both went on to have great sessions.
Nice.
But we knew and discovered that they had implants that were preventing them from going under.
You said it's the subconscious?
The Sun
Sun.
Consciousness.com. Antonio is his name. But he can remove dark energies, dark entities, implants. Like he can see that kind of stuff and remove them, teach you how to shield yourself in a really intense way. Lots of different things he does out there. services he has.
Okay, now that I was able to spell it correctly.
Yeah. So check out those two. They'll give you some good stuff to look at and read.
Mhm.
But anyway, so let's end it here. Do you have any other feedback or comments or anything like that before we just talk like logistics on me sending you the information?
Um, it was definitely an interesting experience overall. Um, I was, for the most part, I was pretty much there, but there were like, it was kind of weird. Like I wouldn't always hear your question, but I would most always hear the response, or I'd see pictures.
Right.
And so it's kind of weird. So like I said, there were times where like I'd hear an answer and I'm like, that's a weird answer. Like,
I told you when we were doing the coaching, this was off camera, but I told you it's going to sometimes to some people it can feel like you have a split brain because
mm-hmm.
it's like part of you is just talking, and the other part of your brain, your consciousness is going, well, that's weird. That doesn't make
Yeah,
any sense. Like, but yet the other part of you is talking. Well, you're trying to sit over here going, what was that? Why did she say
yeah,
that? Or what does that mean?
mm-hmm.
Right? Like I told you, you
Yeah,
might have like that feeling of like that split brain going
yeah.
on.
That's
Yeah.
that's what it felt like, or it's like that. Like that was a weird answer. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm
Interesting. Did you glad you did it?
very glad I did it. Very very glad. Like I said, it's. I wish I could better describe that kind of squidginess that's gone. Um, it's I'm going to assume it's whatever some of the things that we talked about or worked through in the session
Some
is
kind of
that
the
squidginess that's
fear.
not there.
Because
Um,
when I talked about at the beginning, tell me if it sounds like it might be this. Because I said, is she holding anything in her body, in her heart? What does it look like? It's dark gray. Is she ready to have that removed now? Yes. Can you do that and tell us what that looks like? You said, I can feel a light in my heart. She said, I have to do the rest. What does it look like for Belinda to do the rest? Okay, and then it tells you, are you able to knock down any heart walls? Yes, but they're already coming down. I said, can you go clean it up, vacuum up the crumbs? And then you said, I saw some action, but she didn't say anything. What other issue does she have? She's ready to heal. Fear. Fear of what? Fear of the unknown. What is the cure for that? Let it go. What does it look like to let it go? Let your light shine. What can she do on a regular basis? Trust in your light. You have power over it. You can control it. There is no fear. Fear is not real. Yes, it's an illusion. The fear is not real. Didn't even want to call it an illusion. Just said it's not real. It's just not real. It's not anything because it's
mm,
not real. Illusion
that,
is a thing, right? If you think about it, illusion is a thing
mm,
and fear is nothing. So how can it be a thing, an illusion, right?
mhm.
Like I never thought of it that way. That's pretty cool.
That
No,
definitely
fear is
could
not an
that
illusion.
could
It's
definitely
nothing.
be part of that squidginess because and that's one of the things like that line, and that's truly a
Mhm.
fear of the unknown is that line that I've been dancing around. I don't know exactly what's on the other side of that.
Right. But you're safe
Mm-hmm.
and you're protected. So I put in my notes toward the end when because that came up several times. You're safe and you're protected. And at the end, it came up again. You're safe and you're protected. So I put it in my notes and I wrote Tracy's comment or something like that in parentheses. And I wrote your affirmation. I am safe. I am protected. Like literally, you should be walking around all the time. I feel like just saying that. So it just gets deep, deep, deep down in you to replace any of lingering
Mm-hmm.
fear or anything that might be there, right? I am safe. I am protected. And feeling that energy of being safe and protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. But I'm not you, so you go do you. That's a movie line, by the way. Can't even remember what movie. I have this guide called Johnny on the Spot. He calls himself Johnny on the Spot, and he's always giving me movie lines and songs. Like I could
That's
literally have
funny.
entire conversations with movie lines and songs.
That's funny.
I wouldn't even need to talk. But yeah, he's hilarious. He gave me that movie line. But I'm not you, so you go do you. Somebody watching this probably knows what movie that's from. I don't remember. um anyway, so I'm going to turn the recording off.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing this with everyone. This was really exciting. We can't wait. America can't wait to hear
Do the
once you
work.
cross that line,
Do the
what he
work.
looks like, right? What it looks like. There's
Mhm.
got to be a series, like an ongoing series. Like, who are you battling now? What are you battling? Did you go
Those
back and
the
paint
pants
anymore?
I saw, I can still see the picture.
Hmm.
They were cool. They were really cool
Wow.
looking.
Wow.
Like,
Like battle gear type
but
of thing.
they were definitely very functional pants. Like they were made for a reason type pants. They weren't like go to the
Yeah,
club type things.
when you see pictures of these aliens, like they always wear like super functional clothing. And it's
Mhm.
usually like almost like a one piece thing.
That's kind of
But
how it seemed. But yeah, no, it was strange. Like I can still see the metal, and I can still when you had me put like the light on, I could see more details. It was cool. I'd never seen anything like it.
mm, that's so cool. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn the recording off. Hold
Yeah.
on for just a second. Thank everyone for watching. And yeah, that was cool. That was interesting.